Welcome to Seattle Public Utilities Ask Evelyn Live, where we answer your questions about recycling, compost, garbage, and other trashy topics. I'm your host, Becca Fong, and this week's episode, keeping it moving. So how to get rid of all of that excess stuff in your life. So summer in particular is one of those that can often mean it's time to move. And when you're doing that, you realize, boy, I got a lot of extra stuff in my life. How do I get rid of it? I mean, some of it. So today's question is all about how to keep that stuff moving. Hey, Pat.
Hey, Becca, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Good. Good to be here.
Yeah, awesome. So we've got a really good question. You know, changing seasons this month. It's finally starting to get kind of warm out there. Yeah. And we got a really good question that I think is going to help a lot of people out.
All right, let's move to it.
All right.
Hi, Evelyn. I'm helping my friend move out of their place, and there's more stuff than they know what to do with.
I know that.
Yeah, they have a small couch that's in good shape, a bunch of kitchen stuff, some canned and dried food from the pantry. What can I do with all this stuff? Thanks from, oh man, I can't see who it's from. It's from Raina. Okay, right. So Raina. What's the quick answer, Becca? Move out. What's going on?
One, Raina, you are a solid person for helping your friend move because that is no small ask and no small task. So there's a couple of things. First thing with the couch and the kitchen goods, if any of that is usable, definitely we want you to donate. We talk about that all the time. You can, we'll get into the details of places you can donate it, but reusing that stuff, if it's in good shape, is always number one. And then for the canned goods and the dry goods, like if those are in, if those are still edible, if they haven't passed their best by date, those are definitely another great thing to also donate as well. Or we can talk about some other options. Like I said, there's a lot of details, right, Pat? So we should probably get into that because it's a lot of stuff and a lot of different kinds of stuff.
Let's play in the food stuff space first.
Okay.
So yeah, expiration dates are important. I mean, food banks, this is not a dump site, right? So, go ahead and take a look. You can just grab the can, look and see if it's way past its date. Like if you're moving out, if you've lived somewhere for a while, you might have a can in the back shelf that's been there for years. And so, ideally what we want to see y'all do is open that can up, pour that expired food stuff into the compost, rinse the can and recycle it. That's the responsible thing to do with the item you purchased. Now, if you don't want to take it with you and it's not expired, it's still good to go. Then food bank. Food bank's great. I mean, there's multiple options for most every grocery store has a food bank bin at the front of the store. So pretty convenient, pretty easy to do.
For sure. And you can also go like super low tech and like ask neighbors. Ask friends. I've definitely seen posts on Buy Nothing. That's like, hey, I'm moving. I have this giant case of macaroni and cheese. Who wants it? I'm going to put it out front. So lots of options to make sure that, highest and best use. Right, Pat?
That's right. Totally. That's a good point. I mean, I would go friend to friend, direct is the best. But and then other things like that. I mean, aside from food goods, you would go into like the next tier of like smaller housewares or even clothing.
The kitchen stuff, right?
Those are definitely, again, you can try and find a friend or a family member or someone else who wants your good stuff, something that was, good for you for a while. If not, then thrift stores are great for that stuff. As you know from a thrift store, I mean, I love that aisle of the thrift store in the back where they take like 10 little utensils and put it in one baggie for $1.99.
Oh yeah.
Like I really just need the potato peeler, but I'll take all that other stuff too, I guess.
Exactly. Good for the camp kits.
Those are fun. So, so a lot of those items totally donatable. Someone else will be happy to give them another run, So please do not toss those. Actually, donate that stuff. Yeah. Then you get into larger stuff like furniture.
Yeah.
I mean, we have options for that, right?
We do. We have some great options, and none of which is whenever I see a free couch, I think of the song by Le Freak. Free couch. Do not put your couch out for free on the sidewalk. That is not how we roll. We have a fantastic service called Special Item Pickup, and for $30, we will pick that up. So, Raina, if your friend is the account holder, if they live in a single family residence, or if they are a multifamily resident and can coordinate with their property manager, we'll come and pick it up. It's $30. It's a really great service. That means you don't have to try to wedge your couch into a Honda Civic because it's really hard to do. I speak from personal experience. Have us come and get it from Special Item Pickup. But you definitely have to make sure the account holder can
Especially if the cats have had their way with both armrests. You really want to.
It's time. It's time.
There's always a couch cover. If it's super cozy and you know it is,
yeah,
then put it on Craigslist accordingly. Just say,
sure.
trust me. That's the kind of information that is needed for an item like that to stay in its use category, not dispose, you know. So.
Absolutely. And I think being upfront about the condition that all your goods are in. But Pat, you
Yeah.
know, when we work with our thrift partners, we talk a lot about like what good usable
Yeah.
right?
No, that kind of information is only good from a person-to-person kind of
Yes.
Craigslist ad or Facebook, you know, offer up or something like that. If you're going Goodwill, I mean, do not give them the cat scratched fever, you know, situation. We cannot.
No.
We can't.
Yeah, good use, everything really. If you're going to donate it, I mean, that goes with like the food, that goes with the kitchen stuff, that goes with the couch.
Right.
Good usable condition for food. It means it's not as past its best by date. If it's kitchen and housewares, it's in perfect serviceable condition. You know, there's no exceptions to it. Then you can donate it. Same thing with the couch. It needs to be ready to go into somebody else's home immediately for use. Because really, when we talk to our thrift partners, you know, they're really excited. They can use a lot of that stuff, but they need it to be a high quality item in order to put it through their store.
What we're talking about here right now is moving day is peak reuse day.
Oh my gosh.
It is peak reuse assessment time. So you really got to focus and look at all of your belongings. It doesn't mean you have to take it with you. I'm all for downsizing. I think it's great. Right. I think people should cycle out of the stuff that doesn't, you know, bring you joy. Then, you know, tidy up, of course. But let's, you know, it's really to focus on that, to have those categories. These are items I know I can push out the door and donate. These are items, might be some clothing, might be worth going to consignment. There's a lot of consignment options right now. There's online marketplaces, and there's also brick and mortar stores that are taking, you know, cropping up all over the place for consignment. So.
Totally. So Raina, again, you're a solid friend for helping your friend move. So for the 3 items you listed, if a couch is in good serviceable condition, you can go ahead and donate it. If it is not, hit us up for special item pickup, as long as your friend is the account holder, and we'll come by and pick it up for $30, which is a really good deal. And then it gets tossed. For kitchen items, again, good serviceable stuff, person to person is always the best way to do reuse. You can certainly take it to a thrift store if it's in good shape. And then for the food, as long as it is before its best by date, go ahead and you can donate that person to person, of course. Pat, your tip, grocery stores, fantastic. They also have, you know, food pantry bins, or directly to a food pantry is also good as well. And if it is past its prime, go ahead and take it out of its packaging and compost it.
That's probably the toughest hill to climb on all the things we talked about.
Yes,
like getting people to actually do that, because it's a step, it's a process, but we would love to see that, you know, happen.
Totally. Moving makes me think that a lot of times when you're transitioning, you know, from one space to another, or you're downsizing, like you're talking about, extras come up, right? You end up with extra recycling. You got some extra boxes, right? You've got extra garbage. Those things, we always want to give you a couple of tips when you're setting out extras. You know, your haulers are the ones that are handling all that stuff, right? Our amazing collection drivers are the ones that have to pick up all that stuff that you leave outside, right? There's no automated pickup in Seattle. Physically, people are out there picking it up. So if you're putting out a lot of recyclables, boxes, flatten them, break them down, contain them so your driver can pick them up easily and put them in the truck. Same thing with extra garbage. Make sure that's bagged so it's not going to get torn open and scattered all over the place.
And not too heavy either. I mean, just because it fits in the bag doesn't mean it's a bag's worth of garbage. So
it's a good point.
You know, a good tied off knot at the top. Give that driver something to grab onto, not an open top hefty bag with peanuts all over the place or whatever. It's really being thoughtful about that process. You don't want to create litter in your neighborhood, because that's what happens. I mean, once that stuff gets packing around. And then, back to your point about cardboard, flattening them. I mean, you can take one box and make a box of boxes. Also, by the way, moving boxes, that is a hot commodity on Craigslist and OfferUp and places like that. Free moving boxes, people will come and take them from you, and they will get used again. So
that's a good point for sure. Yeah.
All right.
And then one other tip too that happens a lot when you're moving out of or into a new space. We had met, you know, Julie was a guest on our show from Household Hazardous Waste. Sometimes you end up with extra cleaners. Make sure that either you can take them to Household Hazardous Waste. And of course, we're always throwing a lot of really great info at you, but you can always, if you're in doubt, check it out on the Where Does It Go tool. That's going to be super helpful. We've got all that information there, so you don't have to store it all in your brain. And we've got all that great stuff. Extra special item pickup, where waste is. We got all of
Where's
that.
the Go guide?
Exactly.
It's on the back side here.
Oh, there you go, Pat. Exactly. We've got all of our services on the back of our Where Does It Go guide for those of you who've received this in the mail. Always a super great reference point. Definitely. All right, folks. We did want to give a fantastic shout out. So one of our producers in the background, Gemini Davis, who joined us for Recycle Madness, is actually doing a stint with another department within the city. So he is going to be stepping off Ask Evelyn for a little bit, but we're going to bring him back.
Yeah.
But he does a fantastic job. He cuts all those 1-minute recaps. He works in tandem with our show producer, Katie Dillon, who's also amazing. Yeah. But we just want to shout Gemini out. It's not the same without you, but we are so appreciative for all the stuff that you do. And, we'll definitely have you back on the show, man.
Miss you, Gemini. Good luck. Congrats. We'll welcome you back with open arms. And thanks for all the support you've provided to Ask Evelyn show over these past 1.5 years, 2 years.
Oh, my
right?
gosh. Yes, absolutely. And then at the same time, we are welcoming Risa Suho, who is going to be working with us. She's going to join the production team. So we may be able to entice Risa to be on camera for a couple of these episodes, but she's going to be working in the background as well. So, it takes all kinds of folks.
It
takes a team, which all of you watching are part of the team, because this show runs on your questions. So make sure that you keep them coming. Raina, thank you for this week's question, but you can go ahead and send them to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or you can send us an email at askevelyn@seattle.gov. And with that, we'll see you guys next week. So Pat's going to be on with a very special guest. I will be out next week, but Pat's going to hold down the fort. So tune in.
Right.
It's going to be a great show. So with that, I'm Becca Fong, and life's simpler with less stuff.
I'm Pat Kaufman. Remember to recycle right. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.